5,000 people have scaled Mount Everest. 500 people have been to space. Less than 50 people have traveled to every country in the world. And only one man is attempting to do that task without taking a single flight.
Hi, I'm Thor from Denmark. I'm currently traveling to every single country in the world, all without flying and without going home in between.
The spotlight's all on you. You gotta break on through.
Today I have traveled to 168 countries. I'm here in India finally. I have 35 more countries to go to. I've done it all completely without flying. I haven't been home for 5 years and 3 months, and I expect that I'll be able to go home again maybe in 12 or 13 months from now. We had to work out a budget for this project, how much this is going to cost, how long it's going to take, what's the strategy and so on. And we ended up on a $20 per day budget. And this is by doing some research, what do other travelers on their bicycles or with buses or even when they're flying and so on. And we said this should be possible. So there are a number of countries where you have no chance to survive on $20 per day, but you have a lot of countries where you do very fine with $20 per day. So it's meant to be seen as an average. This average of $20 per day covers 4 elements. It covers my transportation, my accommodation, my meals, and my visas. And 3 out of those are areas that I can negotiate. But the visas, you just have to pay whatever the fee is. So on some occasions you pay $100 or $40 or $150, and then that's just it. But I'm not buying a visa every day. So on an average of 10 days, $150 visa will become $15 per day and so on. And over more time, that's sort of fine. I go with the cheapest buses, cheapest trains I can find. Sometimes I walk. I really negotiate with the rickshaws, with the autos, and with whatever. Buses, metros is often very cheap across many countries. I eat cheap food. Sometimes I cook for myself. Sometimes I starve myself a little bit. I'll skip breakfast or I'll skip lunch if it's a very expensive country. People, they offer me a lot of food. People, they offer me rides once in a while. People, they offer me to sleep in their homes. This has happened a lot. Sometimes hotels will reach out and say you can stay if you put something on Facebook about it. So you kind of make a deal. But many times I stay in a dorm room with a lot of people, and I pay a few dollars, or $7 or $8 maybe, for a night, and that includes breakfast and Wi-Fi and so on. So I try to do it as cheap as possible. The main idea behind a small budget is that everyone says they would like to travel. Almost everyone says they would like to travel. And then almost everyone says they cannot do it because they don't have time or they don't have money. Or in many cases they don't have neither. They don't have time or money. So what I'm trying to say is it's not the money. You can travel, cross borders, meet people, make friends for a small amount of money, a relatively small amount of money. The time you have to make yourself. But today with yoga and airbags and helmets and all of this, we're probably all going to be 100 years old anyway. So you have the time if you really want to. I'm showing you, it doesn't have to be expensive. Why don't you just go out and do it? I have a little bit of history with India. I was here in 2010 on a motorcycle journey for 2 months. I was here with a friend from Australia, and we got ourselves 2 Royal Enfields. And we started in Chennai, and we went left and right and all the way. This time I'm not here as a tourist. This time I'm here for the project, so I have a number of things I'm doing. I'm doing a few interviews, I'm speaking at some schools and at some companies, I'm meeting with the Red Cross, I'm updating social media, and I'm trying to teach people about what India is, or at least how I see India and what I'm learning about India. So I arrived in Amritsar. I was coming from Pakistan and had a great time in Pakistan, wonderful people across the border, and I saw the craziness at the Wagah border, with people on one side screaming Hindustan, Hindustan, and people on the other side screaming other things and so on. It was fantastic. What a show. And then you go to Amritsar, and my fiancée, she flew in to meet with me, and we had New Year's together. And I remember we were standing at the Golden Temple New Year's Eve, and there was a little bit of fireworks, so you had the lights on this golden temple, and you had some Sikhs that were in the water, and and the fireworks in the background, and it was jam-packed with people. Unbelievable. And good food, street food, seeing some sights. We got on a bicycle tour. Just in an archaeological sense or cultural sense, you'll turn a corner somewhere, for instance in Delhi, and you'll see a temple or a tomb or a wall or a structure, and you'll just look at it and wonder, why is that not the most famous building in the world? Why are there no tourists here? Why do you not see this on the postcards? The case being that India is as large and as diverse as it is, it just has an abundance of things to show Indians and show foreigners and show anyone who comes this way. Fun experiences come in various forms. Like, I was on board a container ship in the North Atlantic in a storm which lasted 4 days, and I thought I was going to die. I thought the ship was going to go down. I thought it was the end of the project. I wasn't smiling a lot. I thought, like, this is really, really bad. It was a bad decision. I should never have started this project. And I'm up on the bridge, and there are plenty of people, a lot of officers and crew members up on the bridge, and they're talking, and the waves are crashing in over the containers, and they're looking out at this lightning and thunder and darkness, and I'm thinking, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then eventually they stop speaking, and I see my chance to ask, is this normal? And a couple of them, they turn around, look at me, and they just start laughing at me. And they go, this is absolutely nothing, relax son, this is nothing, we have this under control. They say, just make sure you don't fall off the ship and you'll be fine. And I don't believe that anyone on this planet is capable of going to every country in the world on their own. This is something you do together. It's a people project. You need people to make translations, to point you in the right direction, to call their brother, to help you on board a ship, to give you a place to sleep, to pat you on the back, or give you a cup of tea, or something else. You constantly need people in one way or the other. You need people's connections, you need people's advice. You're not going to do it on your own. So even more so, to do it without flying, that just gets even more complicated and even more crazy. So I'm really reliant on people and their willingness to help me and support me. I'm here on Curly Tales today. I'm very happy to report that you can actually travel to every single country in the world on a relatively small budget. I'm out here on a $20 per day budget that covers 4 elements of my project, that covers what I eat, where I sleep, how I travel, and my visas as well. The visas can be expensive, but over time the price comes down on an average. I can negotiate everything else, the transportation, the meals. You meet people constantly people will invite you to come and sleep in their homes. It's possible to go out into the world and travel on a small budget. You just need to find the time, and you probably have the time in your life one way or the other. I'd say go out there, cross borders, meet people, make new friends, see the world for yourself, see what you think the world is compared to what you're going to discover the world really is. It's perception versus reality. Go out and create your own reality.